Okay. I think we're live, Noah. Hi, guys. It's Anita Cordell here, and you are joining us going live. And the reason why I am doing this live is I've wanted to interview a high school student, and Noah actually came to my office today. He's taking a marketing class in college or high school. High school, taking a marketing class in high school. And he wanted to shadow, one of their assignments was to shadow a profession that they're wanting to go into. And it just so happens that Noah's mom was, and your parents were a client of mine. I helped them purchase a home back, I don't know, it's been 15 years, 10 years, 10 years. Yeah. And so Noah's mom reached out to me and said, "Hey, Noah's taking this marketing class. Can he shadow you?" So Noah came over today and we talked about going live and talking about the youth and what real estate means to the next generation and what that looks like in the sense of purchasing, and the sense of what it looks like to buy a home, what it looks like to invest in a home. And so I thought it would be perfect for Noah, who, isn't even out of high school yet, but is already having real estate aspirations, and to just kind of let you guys, as my audience, hear what, might come from a high school student. So let me ask you, Noah, what made you think, or what made you kind of decide that real estate might be something that you would want to go into?
I kind of just I knew that real estate would is important, and you're, no matter what career, you're gonna need it eventually. And especially nowadays in this economy, you're, in order to become successful, you have to be in real estate at least to an extent.
Yeah, that's a really good perspective, in the sense that no matter what industry you are doing, no matter what you've got to have a house, you've got to have a place to live. And so you were thinking real estate might be something to do in the future. Now, when you're talking about real estate, are you wanting to actually be an agent, or are you looking to do some investing, or maybe a little bit of both?
Yeah, maybe a little bit of both, but I would say probably more investing.
Okay.
In real estate, yeah.
So you want to be an investor, and so learning all of the ropes of what it takes to, rent out a property, what it takes to flip a property.
Yeah.
Do any of those interest you as far? Okay. So when you're talking about buying a property in the future, you mentioned duplexes, right? So what would make you want to potentially consider buying a duplex?
Because my dad has talked about it too, but also just especially starting out a young age, it's a way to get ahead and kind of build up property and build up assets.
Yeah. So I have a friend who is a lender, and she helped a young guy just fresh out of high school, I believe is when he started. So he bought a duplex and stayed in it a year. So he lived on one side and he rented out the other side. And you just have to qualify for the difference between what you're going to charge for the rent and then what your mortgage is. So if it's the difference of $500, you just have to qualify for that $500. But he stayed in it for a year, and then ended up renting out the other side and going and buying another duplex. And he ended up having 10, I think, and just over time continued to build wealth as, when it comes to real estate, because that's really technically what you're doing, is you're building wealth when you actually do that. So I think it's really cool that the younger generation is having those thoughts and thinking, because I feel like I would be in a completely different place. My dog is coming to say hello. Go on, Ruby. Go on, Ruby. But he's not obeying. Look at this. But I thought that it would be just a really good conversation to have, in the sense that it is something that more and more of the younger generation has those aspirations to do. Yeah. Well, do you have any hard questions for me?
I could say, like, what would be like the biggest challenge of like maintaining a business?
So the biggest challenge for me, maintaining a business, is just making sure that you have a plan of action on your growth. So it's wonderful to be an entrepreneurial. It's wonderful to have a business, but the biggest challenge and the question of the day in our minds as a real estate agent is, how am I going to get that next lead, or where are the leads coming from? And so that's why it's important to, build a network of people that believe in you, build a network of people that whenever there's anybody out in their communities talking about real estate, that my name is who it comes up. And that the biggest challenge of that is building enough of those platforms to make that happen. And then obviously you don't want to just have one lead source. You have to have multiple lead sources. And so what are those lead sources? You have to just continually cultivate. That's probably my biggest challenge. Time management is also another challenge. Just always trying to make sure that we are having a productive day. So I like the that saying called carpe diem. Okay, so this probably ages me. He doesn't know what carpe diem is. Carpe diem is I think it's Italian, and it means seize the day. So carpe diem is you're seizing that whole day. Well, I like to call it carpe moment, because when we seize every moment and take that moment, then it changes the trajectory of our day. And so being wasteful of our time, being wasteful of, our resources doesn't allow us to seize the full entire day. But if you capture that moment and seize that moment, time management is I think a challenge on a lot of agents, where we get distracted, especially working from home. I can get distracted on things, but that's why it's so important to have your team of people around you. I have an assistant and two assistants. One's an executive assistant, and then there's another one that actually edits my videos and stuff. And so having people around you to do some of the things that you really shouldn't be doing, because as an agent, you've got to constantly be out there trying to find more leads. And you can't be as effective if you're the one doing everything. And so that's been a challenge to continually break through. What else? Do you have any other questions?
I guess what's something that could set you apart early on and kind of get you ahead?
So branding is a big thing. And I know you're taking a marketing class, right? And so branding is a big thing. And so a couple of years ago, I decided to rebrand my whole who I am. And so people know me by the color yellow. And so I rebranded myself and renamed kind of my LLC, and I call it the Yellow Brick Group. And then that way it's all a part of my marketing. People are remembering who I am. But above and beyond that is the service that you provide. So marketing coupled with your service. And what I have really worked hard at doing is making sure that I have checklists that I follow. I'm making sure that my clients feel like they're valued and that I listen to them, setting myself apart by just doing the little things that count and that can add up. Like when people ride in my car, they get a bottled water that's got my label on it. But also too, having my executive assistant, Vina, she also is able to, keep on task and making sure that they are communicating with her as well if need be. And so always making sure that you provide a good service and you're remembered. And so I feel like those things are ways that help set me apart. And plus I have a YouTube channel. What about, is there anything else you have?
I think I don't know, that's about it.
Yeah. So you graduate in May.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to go to a 2-year college because here in Missouri we have a program called the A+ program, and if you do a lot of community service, if you have so many community hours that you've done, and then you have a certain GPA, right? So and attendance, so you've got to have great attendance, a great GPA, good service, community service that you're out there. Then the state of Missouri actually provides you with your first 2 years of college for free. And so you have passed all of the check marks and you are getting those first 2 years paid for. And so you're going to learn some business stuff and hopefully counting and numbers and stuff like that. So he's going to go for 2 years and get that done. And then maybe see about a real estate career, or even if you just started off with buying a duplex of sorts and start renting out, you'll get some good feedback. I mean, I hope that you guys, if you're watching this and you're young and you have some questions or some ideas that you would like and you need somebody to call, feel free to call. My contact information is below. But if you're a young person and you have questions, reach out to me. And I think that it's really good to hear the next generation. And so let me ask you this question as we're kind of closing up. If you were to take everything that you've sat and watched me, shadow and just all the things that go into being an agent, what do you feel would be a challenge?
I would say like the time management thing.
The time management.
And staying like organized with everything.
Yeah.
So it's like a lot to get done in like a certain amount of time.
Yeah, so you've been watching me making phone calls. We're in the middle of a negotiation right now. And so he's been watching as I make phone calls to my clients and as I make phone calls to the listing agent and going back and forth. Plus, he's also watched me scheduling appointments for this afternoon, going out and looking at buyers tonight or today. And so it's a hustle kind of a thing. Even in your own office, there's like a little bit of hustling going on. Yeah. So the time management is good. What do you feel like you would do really well at?
I would say just like work ethic, maybe. Like just kind of just like working hard.
And I can see that because I know his parents and they work hard. So I'm really glad. Thank you for watching Noah and I and me, just having the opportunity to talk to somebody who's young and who's very intrigued with real estate. And I think it's a good thing to have those aspirations. So thank you guys for coming on. If you have any questions, let me know. And until next time, see you later. And